Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel McGow with Handmade You. I want to welcome you to our conversation today. I've got Kelli May Krenz on. Hi, Kelli.
Hi,
Welcome
Rachel. Thank you
back.
for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
For those that don't know you, Kelli lives with her supportive husband and sweet puppy, Pearl Button, who is the namesake for her business. Kelli is a creator, graphic designer, artist, and Brave Girls University teacher, and a sweet, colorful soul. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We're
I'm
talking
always
about,
looking forward to these conversations.
yeah, they're fun. Especially this month, we're talking about the power of words
Yes.
and picking some word lovers to join me and really talk about kind of what is that power of words? What does that mean to you?
Well, I'm a good one for this because I go to bed every night and think about what needs to be put out in the world. Of course, this is from my little head, but and I think that I am a good example, or at least I try to be, of only putting positive words in my social media feed. Once in a while, I'll ask for prayers if something big's going on, but again, those are nice words.
Right.
But I believe in the power of words. I believe in what we tell ourselves is what will happen. And we can manifest anything if we tell ourselves the right words. Now, sure, I'm guilty of saying this and not doing it,
Yeah.
but my practice is sort of like a yoga practice. It's constant. I'm always reminding myself of what positive message I need to hear, and then I share that in
Mm-hmm.
social media. So it's kind of I don't know if it's selfish, but I look inside myself and think, what do I need? Do I need to be strong right now? Do I need to be more brave? Do I need to be inspired? Or do I need to just tell myself that I'm completely whole as I am and just listen? Stop long enough to listen who you are and what you really, really want in life. And you're enough. You have everything you need.
Right.
And so I'm a big advocate of power in words, and especially the words that we feed ourselves.
And so, I think that you're right on with just those words needing to be constant, like these
Mhm.
constant reminders. So, what do you think it is? Do you think it's the repetition of seeing those words? What is it about the words that you choose that make them powerful for you?
I do think it has something to do with, well, I would say this. Okay, so like in front of me right now, these are my little words that I have out. One, can you see it? One says, people buy your joy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I took a really expensive online class, and what I got out of it was that. That was it. And my other one says, you are ridiculously amazing. My other little note. And I don't necessarily mean that I'm ridiculously amazing, but I feel that I can be
Mm-hmm.
if I let myself be. And I get in my own way a lot of the time, which will stop me because
Mm-hmm.
I'll look around and I'll compare, or I'll feel like I'm not doing enough to be who I am. And so, yes, I think there's repetition in the words, like people buy your joy. That is huge
Right.
because people, not even just the word buy, but people want to be around joyful people.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a light that's a beacon, and to me, that's what I'm trying to be, and I express that through my art, which I'm lucky to be able to do. But I think if you keep the words, maybe the words focus, maybe you just wake up and you have 50 million things that you have to do and you have to do and you have to do, and you have a life and you have to eat and do laundry and all that other stuff. But if
Mm-hmm.
you have that one word focus, which is another word I have, um, at least I'll stop for half a second and go, oh, that's right, I was focusing on that,
Right.
you know? So I think it's important to have a few words around, and maybe they're affirmations that are hooked on a mirror in your bathroom. So when you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself, you don't think, oh, I'm looking older, oh, I need my hair done, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it just says, love yourself,
Yeah.
or you're lucky to be alive today.
Right.
Maybe it's big stuff like that, but that those little moments, in my opinion, stack up to be the big stuff that matters.
No, I think that's your point about, we're all busy. We've got all these different things to do. And, everything is going a mile a minute in our head, right? And it's that
Yes.
note on your mirror or on your computer that just makes you
Yes.
stop for that second just to kind of
Yes.
reevaluate, what am I doing today? What really matters, right?
Yep. I've taken it like one step farther, which I'm not suggesting. I'm just saying that I have. And I've tattooed things on myself that I look at every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that my one word I have is shine, which is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And and to me, that one word, I see it all the time. And it really means to shine from within and to give from within. That's what that means to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when other people see it, I know it's not offensive. It's not an offensive word, so I don't worry about
Right.
what they think. The other tattoo that I got was this was really hard to see, but let me see. Can we get it in there?
Yep.
Okay, it's James Taylor. So I've been to James Taylor's concerts for, I think I've been to 18 of them now.
Oh, wow.
And I've never met him. I've shaken his hand just this last time, and I asked him, I didn't have anything to sign, so I'm like, will you sign my arm? It just came out. Then I had it tattooed. And the reason that I did that was because I have so much connection with his words and his music and where his words can take me, that if I'm having a moment in my life that doesn't feel healthy or doesn't feel strong, I can listen to his music and his words, and I can picture myself in that space and in that time, and I'm completely out of where I was. And so that's why that's there. That's a constant memory for me. And so as far as words and busyness, anything that can make you stop for a second and remind yourself of a time, a space, or how lucky you are just to wake up, that to me is a powerful word.
Definitely.
Or words.
Right. And it can be one word, or it can be a phrase or a motto, whatever it is that.
You are enough. That's another one that I have hanging up here. And that's true. I am enough. Just show up and be who I am. And that is enough.
Right.
Just be yourself. That's so, so important. And it's such a hard lesson to learn.
Yes.
I feel like I went, for my 20s, my 30s, my 40s. I'm now 53 years old. And I still every day think, okay, this is the perfect time right now. I have it. It's right now. And I can't wish for tomorrow for a perfect time, because I don't know that I'll get tomorrow. And I don't want to look back and think that wasn't perfect. Right. Just have that perfect time be right now. But those words around you, know this is your perfect time. Know that you are enough. That's the stuff that can change your life. If you feed yourself that every day, just like you feed yourself with food, feed yourself with words.
Oh, that's good.
But choose your words really wisely.
So we were talking about that a little bit before we started. We're talking that you have a lot of words surrounding you. And we were talking about if you choose a word of the year. And tell me your thoughts around choosing a word of the year.
Well, I always feel so much pressure. I see everybody putting this word out, and I'm like, oh, good word. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to get a good word. And so I pick like abundance, and then within a month, I'm like, I'm so sick of that word. And I know that's what, abundance and health and life and friends and I'm like, okay, and then I get the word made by somebody who makes words, and I'm like, that's a dumb word. And so then I have this stack of words, and I have the word light, and it's right here. I mean, I have words, and I'm like, oh, so to me, maybe it's more like picking a few healthy places that you'd like to build on for the year. Maybe it's that you work on, how am I going to make more money doing what I love? Or how am I going to be a better friend and not have these kinds of things pop up in friendships? And so for me, picking that word, first of all, it's huge stress because I can never pick the one word. I just am all over the place and I try really hard and then I finally just go, okay, that's fine. I'll pick that word.
Right.
So to me, I think it's kind of a kitschy thing to do and you want to be in on it and you want to like join in and have all these friends that are picking their favorite words. But it doesn't really work for me. But it does make me think about words. So maybe it is working for me. It's just that one word. I'll be honest, by like March, I'm over my one word.
Right.
I just like.
And maybe it's because, when we pick that one word, it isn't really the right word for us. I mean,
yes.
Your shine on your arm obviously is a word that's always going to be with you and is guiding you in so many different areas of your life. And
right.
And sometimes it's just that we need one word maybe for a few months to get us through a time that we're, something that we're going through. Yeah. And it's good just to move on from it if it doesn't
maybe it's like a word of the month.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, that's perfect. That it's that what you need right then. And then you're kind of like, and maybe that's why I get over it. Cause I'm like, all right, I've had enough abundance. I don't even know how to make that happen anymore. I'm going with light,
like simplify. I have too much abundance. I need to simplify now.
Yeah. And I think, no, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, especially when you hear other people's words and you're like, oh, that's a good one. And that's a good one. You want them all. You want all the words.
Yes. Yeah. And then you might for a second think, how can I make their word work for me? Well, you can't. Yeah. I mean, you can, but that's not really your word. So I love that idea. I love the concept. And I love those people that actually pick a word and they can talk about it for a year. And man, that is cool. But I'm not one of them. I pick many words and I think it has a lot to do with that. I read a lot and I read a lot about helping myself over fears, helping myself become a better person, a better marketer, a better social media person. And so when you learn stuff, you want to talk more about like people by your joy, okay, so, just learned that. And it's stuff that, we all know this stuff, but it's just relearning it and reprogramming it into our head so that it all becomes really more like breathing than studying, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it becomes more actionable. You can have a word like shine, but how are you going to put that into action for you and work for you? How are you going to get people to buy your joy? Like, what are you going to do to make that happen? It's choosing that word that's really going to push you in the direction that you need to go in for whatever you're trying to work on, right?
Exactly. And I think like the most important thing about choosing words or choosing statements to have around you is to always use kind words and kindness. Don't use a negative word to tell yourself, like, don't say you shouldn't, because then right at that point, you're judging yourself again.
Right.
So to always use kindness around yourself, I think that's so, so important with your words.
Right. And I think that was going to be kind of my last question for you is what do you recommend people do when they choose those words? And you were saying have kindness in your words. And what else would you tell people in kind of picking their word or words that they want to focus on?
Well, I do this funny thing where I put like a line down the middle of the sheet and I put pros and cons and I look at myself as a pro and as a con. And I look at myself as things that I can improve on are things that I do really, really well. And in helping choose my words, the things that I do really, really well, I look at how those could be transferred over to the things that I don't do so well. And I think in choosing a word or choosing phrases, it's to really just sit in a quiet spot and give yourself permission to listen to yourself. I love that.
Man.
It's